in the wage gap.
Are you guys aware that the wage gap is a myth and it exists because of female choice and not because of sexism?
It is not a myth.
Oh, really?
I don't think
it's not a myth.
You talk to any woman and you can even talk to other people like in the companies. Do you know that actually like talking about like your wage in companies sometimes it's not even right?
Okay, so if you look at countries like Scandinavia, right, which are the most egalitarian, which means
talking about Scandinavia.
No, but I'm gonna make my point. Let me finish, please. So if you look at countries that are very egalitarian, very equal, right, what they found is that the women choose jobs that pay less. Women tend to be more interested in people. Men tend to be more interested in things. Men work more hours than women on average. Men work more dangerous jobs than women. Men tend to work jobs that are involved in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math that pay more. And women take more paternity leave, and women are more prone to take vacation. So the reason why the wage gap exists, which it does, and women make 80 cents on every dollar, it exists because of female choice, not because of inherent sexism. And as a matter of fact, if you take the data and you compare apples to apples, because the wage gap myth comes from this: median average income from women and median average income from men that are full-time, but we don't account for hours worked, type of job worked, profession, security, experience, etc. But when you take all this data, the wage gap disappears. So, and as a matter of fact, they did this with Google, and they found that the women actually make 8% more money, 8% more than men do. Because the thing is that we're incentivized to hire women. We have affirmative action. We've overcorrected, as a matter of fact, and women out-earn men in a lot of major cities in the U.S. And you guys dominate college. But you guys are 80% of the consumer base, and you guys hold 3/4 of the debt. So what does that show? I say women make just as much money, if not more, than men in the same positions. But the thing is that the reason why women make less money is because of choice, not because of sexism.
What say you?
I don't know. Well, last time I was like looking at, I mean, I could say like last time I actually looked at the statistics was like a while ago, like probably like 6 years ago. But last time I looked at the statistic was for whatever a white man makes. For example, me as a Latina woman, I will make less than half of it. Those are the statistics I was looking up when I was doing like a research paper.
Yeah, but here's it. Like I said, the wage gap myth does not exist because of sexism. It exists because of choice. Women choose to work jobs that are less dangerous.
There's a lot of environments that men don't make very much so comfortable for women. Like my mom tried working in construction before, and that's, something that would be typically more dangerous and, more risky. And she faced a lot of sexual harassment, and, she ended up moving in the office. And I'm not saying that happens everywhere, but it happens in most places. And that's why women make the choice not to work in riskier places or more men dominant places, because they don't make it so comfortable either for us to work there. Even I've worked at a dealership myself, and I've gotten sexually harassed for working around cars because I'm a woman.
Here's the thing, ladies. We got to take some accountability here. The reason why women make less is because of choice, not because of sexism. Now, you can say I'm sexually harassed or whatever, but that's subjective. Women run around all over the place and say I'm being sexually harassed. You know what I mean? Can we really define that? Do we really know if you were sexually harassed at your job? Maybe a guy looked at you a certain way and it is what it is. Like, life isn't fair. Okay? The thing is this, ladies, there's equality of opportunity, but what you guys are looking for is equality of outcome, and that's not the way the world works. Okay? The reason why men make more money is because they choose jobs that are riskier, they're more risk tolerant, they're involved in STEM, and higher paying jobs. The top 10 careers that pay the least are dominated by women.
But there's a lot of women who do the same thing, that take the same risk, and then if you look at their paychecks, they're completely different.
Not really.
But yes,
if you look at women that are in the same careers as men, the wage gap is almost gone if they work the same amount of hours. Think about it. Let's look at this economically. Let's use common sense. If I was an employer and I can really get away with hiring women and paying them 80 cents on the dollar, I would have a completely female workforce. Let's use common sense. If I could really get away with that and I could pay women 80 cents on the dollar, it would be asinine of me to hire men. I would lose money. Most companies, most of the budget goes into salary. So why would I hire men?
Well, there's like laws. If you look at business laws, there's like laws of like who you have to hire.
Exactly. Which proves my point further.
But you have to hire women. You have to hire men.
Which proves my point further.
I also feel like this is a regional thing too. So like I have a lot of friends from the Northeast. I'm from that area. Like I know so many women that are like so career focused. And then I have friends like in other areas, like, the Midwest, like the West Coast, like down in the South as well. And like everyone has very different ideas of what they want to do in their life. Like some people literally want to get married like at 22 years old, 25 years old, like range. They're like, I'm focused on that. I want to be like a mom by 26, like the max. like that is a whole other career that we're also not adding in, because like paternity and stuff too, like that. Like I know people in New York that are like married to women and they're taking like male paternity leave. I didn't even know that was a thing until the last like 5 years. So like that is also added in. Like I don't know.
The point
it's
is
just
this,
very interesting.
ladies. I'll just be
It's-
very simple about it, so that we can dead this conversation. There is no wage gap when it comes to sexism. It's a wage gap because of female choice. And like I said before, we already have countries that are 100% egalitarian, super equal, and it makes the women even more. How do I say this? They decide to go into fields that pay less, even more so. It's female choice. It's not necessarily.
But you're talking about other countries, though. We're talking about United States right
No,
now. For example, like in
that
Norway.
proves my point. I'm trying to tell you that in countries that where it's the most equal, it highlights the fact that women even want to go into social type work even more.
Yeah, but okay, but you're saying like
The
their
wage gap has
choice.
been
But
like
you're saying-
debunked a million times.
but you're
Actually, we have
saying
an
no, but you're
article
saying that's their
just to prove the
choice.
point
Let's
as well,
say- let's-
real quick, guys. Chris, could you pull up real quick the article regarding the wage gap? Because this is a myth 10 times over.
Yeah,
It's been debunked many times.
Any like halfway decent economist has debunked the wage gap.
Yeah,
As far as like existing because of sexism, it exists because of female choice.
it's in the chat, Chris. The article.
You know,
if you don't
and
mind.
it comes from career choice. But what are you gonna say? You're gonna say something?
I forgot.
Okay. Anyway, transitioning over. You know, you got to be able to substantiate your arguments if you're going to make claims like that. But we do have studies that we could show on that about how the wage gap is 100% a myth when it comes to sexism.
All right, you guys send it to me on email.
Yeah. Okay. We will. Oh.
There we go.
Are we going to really go through this? All right.
Yeah,
First,
sure,
go
why
ahead.
Just real quick. Okay, so why women are still choosing the lowest paying jobs? Question mark. The vocational programs that tend to attract females also lead to the least lucrative professions. That's hurting them and the economy. So we have here in a classroom of a technical college an hour from Atlanta, Kimberly Henley picks up a welding torch and lowers her face shield. Sparks fly around her as she melts the metal, joining iron to iron. 3 months into an evening welding program where she's the only woman, the 44-year-old former tattoo artist says she feels like one of the guys. I don't like working with women. They're drama, she said. I've always gotten along with guys well. I'm a real smartass. When she finishes the certificate program at West Georgia Technical College next year, Henley will be trained in the field of the Bureau of Labor. That's it. That's it, bro. I can see it.
No,
I can really see it.
Listen, okay. When she finishes the certificate program at West Georgia Technical College next year, Henley will be trained in the field of Bureau of Labor Statistics. Says pays $40,000 a year, money that will help support her 4 kids, aged 7 to 25. All right, I think we've beaten this to death. Chris, close this.
Yep.
It's a fact. Like,
Is it a fact though? Could we see the what's it called? The sources.
What?
Like the sources of that article.
Okay, we will give you the sources as to why the wage gap does not exist after the show. I have all the links saved. It's actually on our link tree. If you guys want to do it, check it out. Link tree, it says facts.
That lady sounds like she has internalized misogyny right there. Because the fact that she said, I don't get along with women, that's internalized misogyny.
It may depend on the spaces that you.
I don't know. I think
Can you what is misogyny? Can you?
I think misogyny is like sexism, like that kind of like hate around women. You get me? I'm like, right, like kind of like a pick me girl type thing. You get me? Like I don't get along with other girls. Other girls are like drama, or like, oh, I don't do my makeup, like I'm natural.
Well, I would say a lot of women that we bring